What up? What up? Like always, give me a second. Let me let me let me share. Oh, you travel. I'm sorry, y'all gonna have to give me a second. I got a lot going on, but I did not want to leave y'all without a recap of the tour stop. My bad. I'm sitting here doing something uncharacteristic, especially on camera. I'm multitasking big time. So I'm packing, getting ready to go to Memphis in a couple of hours. Pretty much already packed. Um, want to talk about tour stops, tournaments. Don't forget May 18th, we got the tournament in Conyers. First prize is already guaranteed for 2,000 and 1,500 for the ladies. 2,000 for the open division, 1,500 ladies division already guaranteed, not based on any entries. Already. Shout out to Ed, Fat Tuesday sponsors. We're the ones that are putting the money up. So unlike your normal tournament. But like I said, give me 1 second, everyone. So let me share. Hold on, let me change the privacy first. Okay, edit privacy. There we go. All right. All right. Let me. Got a message for the Deep South too while we in here. I think us as a division for the UBA Deep South, I think we need to really come together and start like figuring out how we can start traveling more, especially to these events. It's kind of irritating that other divisions don't see us as I for the life of me, I don't understand why they consider our division as a weak division. I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't like it because I don't think our division is weak by a long shot. And if I'm being quite frankly, I think a lot of our division, even the teams that's in the last place, I think that they have a great shot at these other divisions to at least be in the middle of the pack and still be highly competitive. They just don't know who we are because either they don't travel down here or we don't travel down there, and that goes to the Plemento district too. Um, these teams just don't see us as reputable opponents, and it's disheartening because we are. I'll put our division up against anybody. If I'm being totally honest, I just don't see why the disrespect with our division is. So it's weird. It's uncalled for. The disrespect, especially when they don't travel outside their backyard. Um, but I definitely will like us to be more competitive. Um, when it comes to that, um, Like I said, I just don't get it. I just don't, and I wish we would step up more, as a division. And I think that's something that we're going to need to do. The Deep South needs to get more and more involved, so we're not looked at like that because that's just bullshit. Let's just call a spade a spade. There's no, I we need to do something as a division, and I'm going to be posting something tomorrow on our to like I don't know if we need to challenge people, our best nine and their best nine, whatever nine. I don't care what nine it is. I don't care what nine it comes from the team, but we need to stop looking. I mean, we were in a division. I don't think they considered the Deep South a weak division last season, but I just don't get it. But let's go ahead and recap the tour stop. I'm trying to get these things up. Like I said, I'm sitting here, I'm watching the Knicks game. Getting ready to leave in a couple of hours. It's a lot going on, so a lot of the topics I'm not going to really touch on um, long periods of time, but I do want to definitely recap our tour stop, um, like this being here. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's a lot better. So it is. It was a definitely a tough shot. uh, it was an interesting shot. Let's say the least. Uh, Not giving no excuses because we did lose. What's this thing doing? Yeah, we did lose, but it was a hard fought match. Shout out to Southern Asylum and shout out to everybody who bowled that tour stop. I got to give a shout out to everybody who actually bowled that tour stop because that tour stop was not um, easy, or I don't know. It you had to make spares at that tour stop. From what I seen, it was pretty much like it looked like a 50-foot flat pattern with plenty of oil. The scores was atrocious compared to what we're usually looking at. The we bowled at Anderson Boulevard Lanes. When I looked at the score sheet and I talked to the people who actually bowled, this is going to be a tour stop to forget. This is going to be like no, even the winners. Like we had a couple of people from I talked to DSL, Southern Asylum. It was definitely a tour stop to forget. No matter they didn't care if they won or lost. Nobody wanted to display the scores. There was a couple of 300 series, 390 series. There was a lot of 400 series. Um, like I said, it was just ugly all the way around. But you had to have a winner and you had to have a loser. So let's see who how everyone did during during the tour stop. So here we go. Um, oops. All right, so here we go. So we got Southern Asylum with a 20-pin victory over the Outsiders, 26-14. Great job. Um, I can give insight on this one because y'all already know this is my team is the Outsiders. I felt like we definitely shouldn't have lost. I felt like we had it in the bag. There was the games were close, but if I'm being totally honest with you, Southern Asylum didn't look comfortable outside of the third game. Third game, it kind of opened up. They got more and more comfortable as the ball started hooking into there. There was a bowler who, trying to think, he was I want to say 240, 250 after two. And then in the third game, he busted out with I think like a 220, 230. Um, but at like Jacob said, it spares. Um, spares is what won it. Um, spares is something definitely that won it. Um, it it was ugly. If you didn't make your spares, you paid for it dearly. And what ended up happening was we opened we opened I think four people opened in the 10th frame of the third game, and we lost by 20. So that that hurt. Even watching it, I even told my team, I said, "Hey guys, you guys are pretty much in this by yourselves. It's going to be hard to put a sub in, especially with the shot looking like this and having a sub trying to figure out how to shoot this. That's going to be very, very difficult." But um, of course, hindsight is 2020. We did have a bowler that just didn't couldn't find it, and we thought he was going to be able to find it in the third game. Um, but hindsight is 2020. Moving on, we got Critical Role with a 192-point victory over Full Throttle. We was bowling right beside them, and this was probably the quietest tour stop I've ever been to. It was definitely a tour stop where you couldn't tell who was winning or who was losing. It was that bad. Couldn't tell based off of it. Everybody struggled that, and not everybody. I'm sorry, a lot of people struggled because let's face it, bowlers are creatures of habit. They're creatures of habit, and if it ain't in their comfort zone, then they don't. They just don't. They just don't see it. They just can't get it. It's weird how bowlers just can't adjust because it's a game of adjustments. Like this is one of the few sports that the conditions change every time you bowl. Every time you throw a ball, the conditions change. So it's a difficult sport, but it's an interchanging sport where we all especially who bowl tournaments should already know that. I'm sorry, watching this Knicks game. You gotta excuse me. But it's definitely something that we should be prepared for. A couple of guys bowled the tournament beforehand, and they knew, and it was just ridiculous about how many people don't prepare properly, um, and just be stuck in their ways. It's frustrating. Um, to say the least, that you have to constantly hear all the excuses about this and that and that and this. But moving on, we had High Caliber, who home house it was, and it showed here in the score 36-4 as they won by over 428 points. That one was a little bit shocker. Not to say that not the victory that High Caliber had, but the margin of victory. Tri City being up the road, I expected them to have a better showing. But it was, hey, it is what it is. Things happen. Like I said, it wasn't just ugly for one team. It was ugly for the whole stop. So everybody had to bowl on that, even the lefties didn't have they struggled. Everybody struggled. Probably except High Caliber looking at this score of 58-27, as it looks like they were the highest. And then we had DSL versus Top Shelf. DSL 138-2 with a 491. Let me say this about DSL's pair, because I walked down there and I saw their pair. It definitely looked like they old from the high end to the low end, because DSL had one where it was the 50-foot flat pattern, and then they had another lane that hooked at the arrows. I think I was talking to Justin Gibbons, and he was throwing a pitch black. Watching the Knicks game, you got excuse me. He was throwing a pitch black on one lane, and then he was throwing the exotic gem on the other lane. So he was, I think he was one of the few that shot pretty well at the house. But this definitely was a tour stop to forget. I'm upset that we didn't get the win. I really wanted this because, as you can see, and let me just adjust this a little bit up. As you can see, the standings here, it is still anyone's game, but it is something that it's a place you don't want to be on the outside looking in when it's this close. As you can see, we're only, I'm only going to be looking. Let's just be honest with you. Just talk about the first four. Even though Full Throttle and the Reapers and Top Shelf are not mathematically, they're not out of it yet. They're not completely out of it yet. It's just talking about the top 5 teams. You got Southern and Silent, which they really didn't gain any ground on the outsiders who are hawking down their back with the victory. But they have they have a slight lead. DSL is pretty much DSL and High Caliber should walk into the playoffs. So it should come down to these last 3 teams of Critical Role, Southern and Silent, and the Outsiders. With with the Outsiders and Critical Role have a matchup coming up at Delk in Critical Role's home house. As you can see, that's only a 28-point lead. 24-point lead. That they have, and we already know that can turn into tour stop. And I forgot who. I don't know who Southern and Silent bowls. I want to say Full Throttle. Let me check that real quick. But I think Full Throttle plays Critical Role. Let me look this up real quick. Southern Asylum is team 7. And we are at Critical Role 7 and 6. Yep, they play Top Shelf. They play Full Throttle. So they really can't rest because that is an Atlanta home house. So we already know what the Atlanta home house is. That can really be any teams. But what we've seen, Full Throttle, I don't think they want to go out, like that. And the way they're looking, to have a home game, I think they'll have a strong lineup. Southern Asylum will pretty much have a strong lineup too. But I think, of course, once again, the match to watch everybody said the match to watch was the Outsiders versus Southern Asylum. And with a 20-point margin of victory, it definitely proved that. But to be honest with you, I think this is definitely going to be the match to watch, is the Outsiders versus Southern Asylum. Outsiders versus Critical Role. And it's going to be it's going to be good. Critical Role bowls well out of the house, and so do the Outsiders. So I think this is the one stop where you can pretty much predict the other team's lineup, because it makes no sense that if we both have Delk Road bowlers that they're going to be in the lineup. There's no secret about that, So just about who's going to be able to make shots. This house is a very it's going to be some high scores this next tour stop, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the competition. I may even sneak in the lineup. I don't know, but I think these top four teams. I'm sorry, the third, fourth, and fifth team in this division, Critical Role, Southern Asylum, and the Outsiders, they're pretty much in a no-lose situation for here on out because nobody wants to be on that outside looking in come playoffs because we only get 3 playoff spots in this division. So it's going to be very, very, very exciting. That one is definitely going to be one to watch. But moving on, looking at these other, divisions and stuff, I just think the Deep South, we need to do a better job of getting to some of these events, getting us into these brawls. I wish that they will. I wish they make the brawls 2 days. That's what I wish. I wish they make the brawls 2 days. It's kind of hard to have a brawl with only 15 teams in it when you only have Romo. Please take that comment down. You should know what the team. You should know with all these teams in the South, all these teams in the West, all these teams up north, to have 15 and I get it because of the space that's for it, the space for the tour stops. I'm sorry, the space to fit the teams, but there should be a lot more than 15 teams. Because if we make it 2 days, you can at least do 30. I ain't gonna lie to you, Romo. No disrespect, but I don't find that funny. I don't think y'all realize how much us as owners talk, and when we see certain stuff like that, it makes it look bad on me. Because there's plenty of places where you can find that information that I've provided to us, and then when we ask stuff like that on a public forum like this, it doesn't make me look good. And I know a lot of the team don't care how I look far as it, but it's borderline. Like, come on, dog. Like, we have to do better, especially with the opportunities that are given to us, to get these things, to have these things, to have somebody put us into these things. It's almost like, it's borderline disrespectful to me as y'all owner, that we don't know these basic information or even know where to find these basic informations at. So, like I said, it's no disrespect to you, but it's something that happens a while. Like, a lot of y'all don't know, but when you act stuff like that in public forum, the other owners do come to me and be like, "Hey, man, why your team don't know this, or why your team don't do this, or why your team don't participate in this, or why this doesn't happen." And it gets to a point where it gets frustrating at times. So that's why I'm saying that. Like I said, it's no disrespect to you or anything like that, but we as a division, we need to do better, because it's the way we're looked at with other divisions. I don't get it. Like, why? Who said that we are a weak division? Like, these other divisions be having 40 O's. In the whole time I've been in the UBA, I've never seen a 40-0 victory in the division. So it's frustrating, especially as frustrating as watching this Knicks game right now. That's a terrible call. But moving on to bowlers and tournaments. Bowl League tonight got swept. But the interesting part about that tonight was the showboating that's going around. It's funny when you have a team that starts showboating. Um, it's a situation where you don't necessarily agree with because it's like, especially when you played them before and have beaten them, you're like, oh, now y'all want to showboat, and we had that. Definitely had that going on tonight. But like I say, you got to be careful, man. Bowling world is too small. When you start showboating and they see you again, you better believe people remember that. And it was so funny tonight that we had a team that was really, really laying it on thick with Pauls with the showboating. So it's just like, hey, remember, dog, we bowling alley is small. We're gonna see you again. Um, Especially when you showboat after you got your ass whooped by us, the first time. So, but hey, um, being humble, it is what it is. But you will see us. And then the funny thing about it is when you get matched up with them the following week because it's position round. So that's going to be hilarious. So look forward to that next Thursday when that happens. Um, I want to touch on something. I'm just trying to see how I'm going to word it. Had a conversation with somebody Sunday about just bowlers and personality wise and the type of bowlers that people are. Um, Everybody in the bowling alley aren't is not good people. And the crazy part is the bowling world is so different that even when you are bowling and bowling well, just because somebody bowls well or bowls good, that does not make you a fucking good person. There's a lot of people in the bowling alley that are just awful people. You got people that be messing with other people, husbands or wives, and then they call themselves friends or bowl together. It's on teammates, and it's ugly. It's ugly, and it just goes to show like that y'all are some trash ass people. Let's just call a spade a spade. Like y'all, I will never understand. Um, how this bowling world works. You have a man. Um, let me tell you this right now. You go to jail for putting your hands on a female or in your wife in a public place. You will never bowl with me. Period. Like you're disgusting. You're a disgrace. I can't even. Nah. Like and then to walk into the bowling alley with somebody else's wife is crazy to me. And people flock around you like you're some God's gift to bowling or something just because you bowl well. Like you are a trash ass person. And I'm here to tell you that you will never get a fake handshake, smile, hello, and nothing from me. Don't even look my fucking way. Like that's how trash you are. Like we need to as people stop worrying about who's bowling good, because like you bowling well does not equal you being a good person. And then the people that's bowling with you, like y'all are some good ones, because he would have been off my fucking team. There's no way in hell you strike a female in the bowling alley, get locked up, and then you come back and bowl on my team. No, sir, you are now you, and don't even think you're getting nothing as far as that the money wise, because you're just a fucking awful person. And like I said, and then to have the nerve to walk into a bowling alley with another man's wife who does bowl, and then y'all are just in there all happy, hubby dubby. Man, I wish your bowling balls crack in the car. I swear to God, I do. I wish your bowling balls crack, because the person that you're doing that to is a good person, and you're two trash ass individuals who people just flock around just because you bowl fucking well. Like I hope your bowling balls crack in the car. I hope your I hope your fucking shoe breaks when you're on the approach sliding and it sprains your ankle. Like as God is my witness, I wish you on the front 11 and then throw a fucking gutter. That's what I wish you do. Cause like yo, us as a bowler community, man, like I keep saying, we need to start calling out these injustice, calling out these horrible people who keep flooding the bowling alleys, making it uncomfortable to bowl in. You you like yo, a lot of y'all is just trash. Let's a lot of y'all don't make the sport fun. You complain all the fucking time. I could tell none of y'all even played basketball before, or not even basketball. I'm sorry, none of y'all played sports at a high level before because all y'all keep all. Hold on, let me turn this fucking game off. This shit is over. Uh, but all of y'all who flock around them and be I just do this. Like, nah. You hang with a fucking you hang with them. You just like them. Especially, and I'm not talking about stuff that's done behind the closed doors or in their home or something. But when you actually see it happen in a bowling alley, and you still choose to 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 be around them and hang with them and stuff like that, like yo, yeah, trash hangs with trash. You just as trash as that person. Like that shit was disgusting what I saw these last couple of weeks in the bowling alley. Like y'all have no moral compass. And like I said, the nicest thing I can say right now is I hope your bowling ball crack in the car. Like that's the nicest thing I can say. It's just I got you, Alex. It's just we see somebody we're just talking about like just because you're a good bowler, that doesn't equate you to be a good person. And a lot of times in this community, people flock to good bowlers and thinking that it's it equates to how they are in real life. Um, because let's be real, a lot of these bowlers are broke for whatever reason. But and let me also say this for you good bowlers out there, there are some good people that are good bowlers. Watch the company you keep because everybody that's around you because you're bowling good, they are not in your they're they are not for you. I'm telling you, just because they root for you when you're bowling good, when you're not bowling good, or even when you're not a bowler and you walk outside that door, those are the ones you should be watching out for too. Everybody that claps their hands for you ain't ain't clapping their hands for you. Like that's real because the shit that I'm finding out, and the crazy part is I only know because the person told me, and I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. The only reason why I'm really not saying names is because I haven't gotten the permission from that person yet. But let him give me the green light. Let him give me the green light because some of y'all fucking local heroes are just trash ass people, and then some of the good bowlers who are doing things right, who are treating people right, the people around you got to watch out for because if you wasn't bowling good or if you wasn't a top tier bowler, ask yourself would those people be around you? So shout out to the good people who are that I know of that are good people and good bowling. For example, Terrence Bright. Ever since I've met him, he's been a good person from what I've seen inside and outside the bowling alley. Tyrone Stevens, even every time I seen him, even when we had disagreements with certain things, he came to me, hey, dog, let me talk to you to the side. Can't do nothing but respect that. T Bone, Terry, another great guy, on and off, solid. solid dude, and it's a couple of more, out there. Um, that Dana, got to give Dana his credit. He's a great bowler. Would give you the fucking shirt off his back if you asked him for it. You know, Daryl Fields is another great guy. That who you ask of him, he doesn't mind. So there's a ton of great bowlers out there that are good people, but everybody like the way I see people just flock to certain people and share things and be like, yo, stop telling all your business to these people. People don't give a damn about you. Like we and I agree with you. We do need to start blackballing some people out of the bowling alley because your attitudes and the way you move. Man, I swear to God, I wish I was in the bowling alley when you punch. I as God is my way. Let me tell you something. I'm the wrong person to have domestic violence around. I don't play that. I don't play that hitting women. I don't play that. I don't play that at all. I don't play that at all. Like and then it's weird to me that of this man to hit another woman and then you decide to be next on his arm. You're a fucking idiot too. You're a fucking idiot too. Just to let you know. Trash. Like I'm it's already bad enough out here in the world where it's hard, to even maintain, or it's hard to survive. So it's already especially the times we live in now, it's already hard. So most people go into the bowling alley to get a release, to relax, release. And then some people bring their families into the bowling alley, just so their family can enjoy, or they can spend time with their family who likes to see them bowl. But to know that you bringing your significant other or your family into the bowling alley and to have somebody preying on them, somebody that you actually bowled with or on a team with, man, y'all niggas, excuse me, y'all is crazy. Y'all is crazy. But what else I wanted to touch? Because like I said, we don't have much time because I'm on my way to Memphis. Gonna do the Southern Bowling Congress. I might see if I might take my laptop with me and do a show out there. But I got you, Alex. Probably be tomorrow midday. Like I said, I'm about to go to Memphis to something. I'm going to be bowling in the Southern Bowling Congress. I'm looking forward to that. I've bowled in it the last 2 years. It was in Alabama and it was in Alabama, and then it was Florida. Hold on one second, y'all. My alarm is going off. Bad, y'all. My her alarm is going off. Idiot out there. But yeah, we I don't know, Alex. This I go with this older group, older group. But when I get out there, I'll give it to you. I just know they do have a website, which is the Southern Bowling Congress. It's a very old website. Oh yeah, real quick, shout out to the UBA for finally updating their UBA jerseys website. That jersey website is fire now. I like it. Shout out to y'all for finally doing something right. Like shit. I finally got some jerseys today. Woo! Like God, dog, man. I'm telling you, if you're a new team, and you have a jersey order, get your jersey order in as soon as possible. Um, yeah, get your jersey as soon as possible. Cause I help me understand. Other than you old ass farts will not change, and you every time you prove me right, every time one of y'all say, "Oh no, that's not true," you prove me wrong every fucking time. Because why are we still not on an electronic system? Why? Help me understand it. Why are we still not on an electronic system for bowling? Why do we have people still? Why do we still have people still asking for me to send in checks and shit? Like, like, help me understand this. Like, why does like right now, Alex? If you go to the Southern Bowling Congress website, like you, if you haven't already, that website look old as I don't know what. Like, it looks like it was like made the same year Oregon Trail was made. Like that website, these bowling websites and these bowling, like, get into the new age. I heard something mind-boggling today. I don't know if I can say your name, but shout out to you. You're gonna know who I'm talking about when I tell the story. There's this guy who is on staff with Bowlify, and apparently Bowlify, and I apologize, y'all. I probably shouldn't have even said their names. They are looking for pro shops to work with now, I believe. So there was one guy who is younger, and he said, "You know what? What I'll do to help y'all out is I'll make a TikTok." So apparently, his TikTok that he made reached a lot of people, and Bolify contacted him and wondered what did he do to get all these people to respond to you. Like, what did you do? He made a post on TikTok like that. Like, y'all don't have a social media team. Like, how is that? Like, help me understand how we're not in 2024 yet, and every business that you have should have every single type of social media because that's what everybody is on. Like, how is that? Like, help me understand that. That doesn't make sense. When are we going to upgrade the times? Now, also, let me say this: I blame us young folks for that. Because all this, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do this. But we cannot expect anything to change if we don't take part of that. My goal for this upcoming season is I don't know if I'm saying this right, but I want to be a part of the USBC. And wow, Alex said he just looked at the website. It was made in 1968. That is crazy. But and I'm challenging all of us young folks because it's time for a change. It's time that we do a complete makeover. Let me not say a complete makeover, because once again, what is working now can continue to work, and we can still add on a few things new that will also work with the old stuff. For example, if we get on these USBC boards in our local state, our local county, like us young folk, we need to get on there, because the way they run these tournaments, they still have these old ideas of, this works. And just because they get a few hundred people, they think they're doing something, where I know if we come together, we can reach more and we can make these city and state tournaments bigger and better. But we cannot do that with them doing the same things. We can make it worthwhile. Think about it, young folks. And I'm talking to myself too. We can change things where we have big tournaments and don't have to travel. But the problem is we're not getting involved enough to even let them know that we do have interest in this, and we do want things to change, and that we can make things change. Because I think we have the ideas. We have people that want to throw tournaments. We have people, that want to see more mixed tournaments. We mixed doubles. We may have, there may be a city Baker tournament that people may want to do. There may be a city no tap tournament. Nobody wants that shit, but I'm just giving out, I'm just throwing stuff out there. Like, it may be a state, but if we don't show up and put out numbers at these meetings, it's not going to improve. And I'm tired of hearing good ideas and people shutting it out saying that won't work. That may not work for you. Like, for example, I don't like Baker and Scotch doubles. I don't like formats. I don't like Scotch formats. I don't like Baker formats. But there's a ton of people out here that love them. Just because I don't like them, that don't mean they're not going to work. Like, we got to stop thinking like that, because I've seen these tournaments sell out. I've seen Ty throw these tournaments. I've seen Southern Lanes. I don't know who runs the no tap Scotch. I've seen that do well. I keep seeing flyers for these type of stuff, so it's working for someone. Just because I don't like it, that don't mean you can't get a couple of hundred people to do it. And then to advertise. I talked to I think it's Chuck or Charles, and we asked him. He was like, "Hey, how come y'all don't put these tournaments on the website?" He was like, "Oh, we do." And I was like, not on the Facebook. He was like, "We do." And I was like, "All right, let me pull up your Facebook." And I looked up there, and it's like, maybe like 500 people in the USBC that follows the page. And I'm like, yo, why aren't you reaching out to more people to join your Facebook group? Because let's be real, I think probably about 75% of us know about tournaments from Facebook. Like, and as much as I see the USBC tournaments going on, I can't tell you how many people I see or I hear on a normal basis that be like, "Hey, I didn't hear about this. I didn't know this was going on. When was this?" Like, there's no way in hell my little tournament at Conyers should be heard about more than a USBC tournament. Because for number one, we pay league secretaries. Utilize them. If I'm the USBC and I know there's league secretaries, I'm giving them all the information to give out to the leagues. Why is my league secretary not putting out flyers for your USBC tournaments? You make us pay them, like, utilize them. Like, I just don't get it as far as that. And one last thing too before I get out of here. Like I said, I'm getting ready to hit the road in a couple. Let's please Deep South. Let's get more involved. I'm gonna reach out to Casey. Shout out to Casey. And then for those of you who don't know, here you go, Romo. Here's something. Because I haven't put this information out to my team yet. I don't think, or I think EK did it. The tour stop that is in April 28th is going to be in Southern Lanes. Shout out to Casey. I think that was a smart thing to do. But also, let me say this, and I'm going to help you out with this, Casey. Just because we're having the tour stop at Southern Lanes, this is only a special circumstances. Just because you pick another UBA house, for example, Southern Lanes has 2 UBA teams. They have Top Shelf and Southern Asylum. Just because there's 2 UBA teams there does not mean you get 2 UBA tour stops. This was just a unique circumstance where they were able to get 2 tour stops. And the reason for that was how you say it? Osakana Lanes, they had to do some major repairs to their bowling alley. So we are unable to use them. They literally just informed Casey last weekend. So with the league rate, of course, Southern Lanes, they're able to do it with open arms, and host another tour stop. But just because you have and no, nobody gives a fuck about your opinion or it should, or no, that's the fucking rules. Like, Oconee. Okay. Thank you, Corbin. Oconee. So just because you have two tour, no, that does not mean that. No, you don't get two tour stops in that house. Like I said, and this actually worked out because Southern Asylum plays Top Shelf Stunners that weekend. So they're going to be facing each other in their own house. So kudos to you, Casey. That was a great decision. It worked out perfectly. But yeah, that's just the rule. Don't, and no, it doesn't make sense. No. Because if that was the case, the Outsiders would have been in Lilburn too. And we would have just had two tour stops at Lilburn. So no. It's a traveling league. Let's travel. Like all you, I don't want to travel. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Like, stop it. The only thing we should be trying to change is let's try to get some of these fucking tour stops on a Saturday. Because they definitely do it up north. Don't let them lie to you. They definitely do it up north. Like, let's stop the cap. Constantly lying to us, telling us, there's tour stops. There's no tour stops on Sunday. No other division do it. They do it up north. Facts is, y'all do whatever y'all want. And let me also say this, man. I gotta get this brother on. I'll be watching your shows. Gustavo, I think his name is. He's I think he's the owner of Stay Dangerous. I've been following y'all with the new site. If you're not on, you should look up Social Experiment. I'm loving what Stay Dangerous. I'm loving the energy that you're bringing to the UBA, to the South. I wish we was in the same division so we can have that energy down here. And actually, Gustavo, I would love to do a house versus house with you, man. I just think my team's energy and your team's energy, that, man, even in the off season, man, I would love, for y'all to come down here and we do a preseason thing with both of our teams. Man, I'm loving what I'm seeing out of Stay Dangerous. I'm loving, I'm just loving the energy every time I see you, dog. You got your foot on their necks and keep your foot on their necks. I'm loving the energy you bringing, dog. I'm loving it. I'm loving it, dog. Keep it up. Keep it up. Whoever got a line to Gustavo, tell him to hit me up. I'm gonna reach out to him soon. But Gustavo out there, Stay Dangerous. Yo, I keep your foot on their neck. Win, lose, or draw, he got their foot on their neck out there. And I would love, man, anybody who get an opportunity to see a Stay Dangerous match or just see their energy, man. My team, I would love it. I would love it. That would be so much fun. It kind of was the same thing that I was trying to do. And I'm still out here. I still love the Outsiders. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. But I did have to calm down. Had a meeting with some of the officers on my team. And I had to dial it back just a little bit. But I love that energy, dog. Keep it up. Try not to change. Keep that energy up. But we are about to wrap up. Like I said, I have to get on the road here shortly. But I didn't want to leave without recapping the tour stop. So with the standings, we're gonna have an exciting finish. especially for that third and final spot, because it's no doubt about it. It's going to come between the Outsiders, Critical Role, and Southern Asylum, and it's going to be fun to watch. The only bad part about it is that I'm stuck in the middle of it, so I can't really be watching. I have to game plan and strategize, and also prepare us for next season, and playoffs. So it's this is going to be an exciting finish. Um, Very competitive finish. I wish there was more stuff like the UBA in the competitive league. Like I said, I got the Pot Bowl at Lilburn coming the second weekend in April. $20 a game to get in. Plus, if you want to do any side bets, you pay for your own lineage. That is the second weekend in April. At the first one is going to be at Lilburn. Second one is probably going to be at Conyers. So it's going to be a Pot Bowl. Probably that Saturday night. I'm gonna let y'all know the time. I have to talk to them, but we are definitely bringing back the competitiveness in bowling. Like I said, I can tell a lot of y'all ain't never played high school sports because y'all have not a competitive bone in you, and it shows. It shows. But yeah, this tour stop is these next 4 or 5 tour stops is going to be exciting. Be on the lookout for Kevin Girth. I'm sorry, excuse me. He's going to be coming back with his recaps. I'm excited to hear him because his was always pretty much spot on. He had a pretty decent record before he stopped, but I know shout out to him who's a brand new father. Congratulations to you and your family. I definitely know how that is getting used to that. It's not easy. So I know he's trying to, balance family work and still do the videos. So we're looking forward to your recap. But I couldn't go to Memphis without giving y'all my recap. But we need to start. We need to start that competitiveness back in bowling because y'all be wanting too much. Y'all be wanting stuff handed to you. You want stuff given to you. Y'all want too many fucking participation trophies, and y'all not out here to bowl at to your best abilities. Half of y'all, man. Next year we're changing things. Like I said, I'm challenging all you young folks. I see a lot of you young folks, Jacob, Alex, Corbin. We need to get on that USBC because there's no way the USBC shouldn't have a state winners tournament. I just don't get that. Like, what is the purpose of being considered USBC Georgia, USBC South Carolina, USBC North Carolina? Like whatever. The US Open championships out there in Vegas, that shit ain't nothing but a money grabber. Let's be real. Don't get me wrong. Is it not fun? Yes, but why isn't there something that big on for a house shot? And I know a lot of you saying, "Oh, it should be sport house shot." No, everything should. It should be something for everything for everybody. Like there's like I get it. I get it. Yes, sport shot is the thing where you want to do and you want to do better. Yes, there are spots for that. There's also spots for handicap. There's also a spot for scratch. There's also a spot for house. We need all of these things for bowling to be acceptable. Stop thinking, and I understand, and don't get me wrong, I understand where your mindset be at when you say there shouldn't be this or there shouldn't be that. I understand where your mindset is, but that does not help growing the sport. And like a lot of y'all know, I'm all about growing the sport, as we should all be, because we're at the bottom. We're at the bottom. We're trying to get back into the Olympics, and we cannot do that if we keep downing our own selves in the public light. Like, don't get me wrong, when you're in bowling and we're having these conversations in the bowling alley, yes, you should be wanting to do more sport shots than house shot because it's more challenging and it kind of makes you better. But when we talk about growing the sport, the USBC, the PBA, TMBA, I think the TMBA does a great job. I just They're another one. We need to, us younger folks need to start sounding country. Us younger people need to start getting on these boards and making our voice heard, because just saying it inside the bowling alley ain't working. You know, like I just said, one of my goals is to get on the board of the USBC. And I would love to take three of my, people close to my age in there, because I can't do it alone. I can't. I don't have all the ideas. Some of y'all have some great ideas. We just need to, get them to the voice, get them to the ears that can actually make these changes until we are. Because if you got to think about it, like, who's going to take over once these people are done and retired? Like, I don't know if y'all actually see, and this is no disrespect, but I don't know if y'all actually seen the people that are actually making the decisions. Like, their great grandmas and great grandpas, like, like, y'all need to sit down and be, y'all need to sit down and let some younger generations take over. But the younger generation can't take over if we're not there. So I'm going to be trying to get a little bit more involved. I'm not going to be doing as many leagues next season because I want to get more involved with the USBC, share some of the ideas that I've heard that I have. And like I said, I'm challenging us young folks to do the same, because half of us don't even know. And Tyrone, I don't know if he's still up here, but I need to talk to you, because there's a story I heard about the Hall of Fame introduction in the Hall of Fame when you were finally inducted, and I want to talk to you to see if I can kind of dive into that before I do say it publicly. But I need to talk to you, sir. Whenever I'm gonna try to call you this weekend, so I can get your permission to see if it's okay. Because I heard how they did you, and I don't know. It upsetted me. I don't know if it really upsetted you. Because in my eyes, you should have been the first, the only, and then after that, should have came to some, other people. But anyway, well, me and you will talk about that to see if I can share my displeasure on this platform with that. But y'all have a great night. I appreciate y'all, the ones that's tuning in. I will be reposting this, but so please share. I'm looking forward to you, Kevin, to hearing your recap. I am going to be going live on TikTok today. I bowl today at 2 in Memphis, and then tomorrow at 8 a.m. So I'll put up my TikTok and everything. I will be going live on TikTok. If anyone wants to watch and see who's, how's it out there. But also, we got Ty Tillery's tournament. If you're not doing anything this weekend and you're in the Georgia area, Ty Tillery is having a eliminator on Saturday. So make sure you go do, you if you're not bowling or you're not doing anything, you go ahead and call. Go out to Southern Lanes and go to Ty's tournament. I think also Toccoa. Toccoa is having a Sport Shot no tap doubles tournament. I bowled there. I bowled it before. It's pretty good ran tournament, clean bowling alley, a little bit on the small side, but the tournament that I went there was ran pretty good. And a couple of people who I know went to the last one. They had a good time. No complaints on that. That's all that I know of that is coming out this weekend. So y'all be safe. I am going to be looking to go live. I'm going to bring my computer and try to go live there too, to update y'all to see what, how we're doing out there. Anybody know any good barbecue out there in Memphis? You shoot me a message, let me know, because I'm definitely putting that diet on pause. So, but y'all have a good night. I'm about to hit the road. I'll see y'all tomorrow.